All right, thank you for staying with us. It's still sports tonight. Gentlemen, let's quickly take a look at these issues. One after the other, a whole lot of issues, a block vote for Blatter, elections of executive committee members, a lot of them unopposed, really.
Yeah, unopposed.
Well, yeah, somebody withdrew on the floor.
No, one of them
all of them unopposed, and naming of the host for
2017,
the format that will be done tomorrow. The format
for the
2018 World Cup and the host nation for 2017. A whole lot of issues today for you. What was the standout issue today? The fact that every other candidate were not allowed to address the assembly. It was only Sebrata. We talked about it yesterday in his capacity as FIFA president.
We talked about it yesterday, and I thought was a big. Was a big gaffe by CAF. I didn't think that was proper. I mean, presidential candidates showed up. You should have given them the right to speak.
When they were at UEFA, all of them were able to speak at the UEFA Congress.
I think what they did, they actually did that on purpose. Because when Blatter went to the UEFA Congress, he had to sit through a lot of stinging criticism from UEFA members and about the candidates, about his style of leadership. Meanwhile, he has Africa in his back pocket. This time, he showed them his power on the African continent. He just came and let them observe his glory and majesty as a FIFA president. And he wanted them just to sit and watch how he does things on the African continent. And all that was crowned by the fact that Issa Hayatou pronounced very clearly that Africa will be voting en bloc.
And he said it was like preaching to converts. That he shouldn't waste his time preaching to converts. You try to preach to those who are unbelievers or those who have not believed you. But he says, coming to Africa, you don't need to campaign because everybody's a convert. What other issues came up for you at this Congress, Cosmos?
Yeah, for me, it has to do with the election or the selection of the CAF executive committees and of course the FIFA executive committee. The age limit, we know it was going to come to this period. I mean, Issa Hayatou, it used to be I think 69 or so, but Issa Hayatou, if that age
if you were 70 before, you wouldn't be able to contest.
Exactly,
but now,
you won't be able to contest.
Age limits have
now
been completely.
It can be an avalanche and go as long as he wants to, as the CAF president, and of course we all know how it works in Africa. It's really going to happen. So for me, I think that was one of those things that really got me surprised. I mean, I keep asking myself, if you do things like this, what is the future?
Cosmos?
Well, I'm surprised because
the same executive committee had made sure in the past that only the CAF presidency can only emerge amongst the committee members. Yeah. So it was only a matter of time before they came up with this.
That's the thing. And the man who made the move, who moved that motion at that time, Rarua, is out now.
Exactly.
It's falling out of favor.
Yeah.
So these things come around. Really. I don't have to worry about the age. I mean, we've seen 70s become president, 70 plus become president.
It is not just about the age. I'm talking about the development of the game. Now, for me, if you do things like this, how does it tell the game?
Are you sure the African game hasn't developed under Hayatou?
Well,
it's subjective.
On a scale of 1 to 100.
Some will argue.
On a scale of 1 to 100, let's talk about it.
If you argue that it's not done enough,
I'll tell you 40%.
Okay, some other people will score him 60, 70. Wow. So it's subjective, really.
But some also argue that football is not for old people.
Exactly.
The oldest professional footballer in the world is 48 years old.
Exactly.
And they are thinking that football should be run by people who are within that age, not geriatrics.
Yeah. It is also subjective. Some cooler heads will tell you that, look, you need the maturity, you need the experience. Yes, you may not have played the game, but administration is not limited to age.
But what if you have the executive committee where all the members are populated by people that you have to wheel into?
How many people are you willing into the conversation? It's only one person. I mean,
inevitably we will get to that stage.
They believe that if you are fit enough to continue, you carry on. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson was coach for a long time. New generation of coaches have come and
the man you went step down.
Yeah.
This one is not the way step down.
Let's say there's age limit.
Yes.
If we're talking about, it's not about whether you're healthy enough or something. I mean, age limits, they did not talk about health, they did not talk about whether you're fit enough or whatever it is. I'm not bothered about the age limiting. As far as I'm concerned, how will it tell on African football?
Okay.
Will African football develop?
That's
the question.
Let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria now. Tomorrow we will know our opponents. It is very, very key. who will Nigeria draw for the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations? I mean, our experience with the 2015 edition will make us want to sit up and begin to put our house in order, as we've always said. And then we will also be knowing which country is hosting. Ghana, Gabon, Algeria, in the mix. Although favorites are looking at Algeria because we've been in West Africa for such a long time, and they're thinking that, look, let's go up north.
Well, we haven't had a North African host since 2008? 6? No, Egypt.
2006?
2006, that was Egypt, I beg your pardon. So I think it's about time that we did go back to North Africa. The qualifiers will be known tomorrow. And for the 2018 qualifiers, it will be done on the 25th of July. In Russia, and that's going to be a 4-round stage. Inevitably, it will culminate into 20 teams making it to the 4th round. Each it will be 5 groups of 4 teams each. But that is in the future. That will be settled on the 25th of July. But for tomorrow, we will know the host of the 2017 Nations Cup. I will also know the path that Nigeria has to navigate in order to qualify for the 2017 Nations Cup. So for me, this is where the Nigerian Football Association have to pay a tremendous amount of attention. This is where they can now begin to right the wrongs of the past and correct the mistakes that have bedeviled us in the past in order to ensure that Nigeria returns to the top of African football at this level. Because we've always done relatively well in the age group, but all that comes to naught if you cannot have a competitive senior national team.
All right, so those are some of the issues. By this time tomorrow, we should be breaking down for you who is in Nigeria's group, when are we playing, how are we playing, and all of that. After we would have also known which country will be hosting the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations, but we'll pray for a favorable draw. Now, we have learnt our lessons. No draw is easy. No group is easy. We have to take every group with all the seriousness it deserves. And we can't re-emphasize enough the fact that we need to sort things out as quickly as possible. The NFF Executive Committee have told us that they have approved the recommendation of their technical committee that Stephen Keshi should continue. So Keshi and the NFF, what is causing the delay in signing this contract and getting to work immediately? Once again, they need to sort things out as quickly as possible so that we can begin to look forward to the 2017 Nations Cup qualifiers. All right. So, Sepp Blatter today was the only one allowed to speak to the FIFA CAF General Assembly, and he did say a lot. But then we can always argue that is he going to get the 54 votes from Africa if it is secret ballot? I don't know how these guys find a way of monitoring it. But sometimes the compliance level is always so high, almost 100%. But another man that will be in the ring against Sepp Blatter is Louis Figo. He's been speaking. Let's pause a little bit, listen to Louis Figo. Find out from him what the new blood, Tunde and Cosmo, said. Look, you need young men, active men to carry on the dream. Let's listen to this young one and find out exactly what he has to say. We'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.